the world is open to live anywhere. We can live anywhere.
Yes.
But there's never that satisfaction what you get when you live in your hometown. If I had a lot of money, I would have gone abroad and started a farm there also. If I sold any of my produce for a price lesser than what I want, then the selling aspect of a farm produce hit us. But farming itself is something what you're doing against the nature. We as a farmer would have grown an excellent produce. We would have an excellent crop, but we would not have followed certain discipline in harvesting the crop, and from the time by the time it has been harvested and got till the house, that time itself a lot of mistakes would have happened by the farmer.
I hope you're having fun watching the show. Let's learn together. Today's guest is an organic farmer and businessman, Chetan Shetty from Manjanna Shetty Farms in Karnataka, India. I'm really glad I have him on the show as he spoke about farming with an optimistic view while improvising his profits. He has adapted himself to the modern day's customer expectations and is also a good inspiration for the younger generation to remove the negative outlook towards farming. In the podcast, he has also given us a lot of tips for beginners and aspiring farmers who want to take up farming. So please don't miss it. And please do subscribe and like, share. Please share it to all of your friends. And let's get into the show right now. Thank you so much. Hi, welcome to the L Cube Show, which literally means live, learn, and live. So my passion is to learn, keep learning. That is the reason I'm finding people who are passionate about learning things, like new things, and actually achieving them, through learning, because life itself is learning. I believe in it. So hi, Chetan. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good, Pradesh.
So
Very
here
good.
we have Chetan, who is an organic farmer in India. So Chetan, can you tell me like where you're from, your family background, your education background, and your profession before coming into farming?
Yeah, sure. Right now we are living in a place called Bellare, which comes in Dakshina district of Karnataka state in India. Basically, this is a green belt which is lush in forests and such. I shifted here, which is a farm right now. To this farm, we shifted around 5.5 years back in 2017. Before that, most of my life I have been a city dweller. I was
Which
born
city,
in
can I ask?
Mangalore, and then I finished my studies in Mangalore. In Mangalore.
Okay.
It's a coastal town.
Yes.
And I did my schooling until my schooling. I was in Mangalore, and then I went on to a different city called Hassan, where I did my engineering. And after the engineering course, I took up a job in Bangalore. I was working in Bangalore for around 8 years until 2017. I used to work for a American firm. They used to manufacture engineered products, which was mainly used for process industries like mining and minerals, fertilizers, edible oils, and other any application where filtration used to be involved. That was the product where we used to cater. So I was looking after the South India market, the 4 states in the southern part of India. I used to look after those areas and used to do the marketing and sales for these areas.
Okay, so you are into sales and marketing.
Yes.
So that is helping you now.
That is one field which I always loved to do.
Okay, great. So so most of your time was in India, right? Like in Bangalore.
Yes.
So, and in Mangalore, it's all south of India, right?
Yeah, I am 35 years old now, and I can say, except for 15 days in my whole of 35 years, I have been in India.
Okay, great. Okay, so big question: why farming?
There was no clear intention that I had to go into farming. That was it was gifted to us because we are a family of farmers. Yeah, obviously, everybody in this world,
Which we are
there are
all of. I am also from a family of farmers background.
yes,
Yeah.
we are all a family who have
Yes.
come from farming community.
Yes.
And my grandfather was the one who, as far as I remember, who came here and settled here and started farming here. They
Okay.
were doing paddy and some other vegetables and things like that.
Okay.
My basic interest to farming, the reason was that we can be connected to our roots.
Mm-hmm.
We can be in our native all the time.
Okay.
See, the world is open to live anywhere. We can live anywhere,
Yes.
but there's never that satisfaction what you get when you live in your hometown.
Yes.
So this is one particular occupation which made me easy that yes, if I choose this option, I can be in my hometown. I can be around the places which I have loved to be for so
Okay.
many years.
So you can
And
say we can say that safely. You wanted to be closer to your hometown. You wanted to live
yes,
closer to the hometown. That's the first
yes,
initial
yes,
love towards your
yes,
hometown.
yes.
Okay.
I wanted
Like
to be local.
have you
Yes.
ever have you never felt like everyone is going abroad, they're being successful in their own path, I should be trying that? It never came across your mind?
Maybe if I had a lot of money, I would have gone abroad and started a farm there also. That idea
Oh,
was there, but then
that's great. That's really a good point to hear, because started a farm there also, that's a very good intention actually.
yes,
You didn't say I'm going to go and then settle down, and then you wanted to start a
no,
farm there also.
no.
Okay, so that is there.
For me, it's like,
Yeah.
it is like something should be pricking you all the time. You should never settle. You should
Yeah.
feel discontent within yourself, and
Yeah.
maybe this is one field where you always feel discontent. For example, like you have your tree which is flowering. You will feel happy when it is flowered.
Yes.
And then, once the flowering process continues, from flowering to the fruit set, there
Yeah.
are a lot of obstacles which come in between.
Yes.
So that is where, you will start to get dissatisfied. Then, this is not right, that is not right. Pests are coming, climate is not
Yes.
working for the flowers.
Yes.
So uncertainty is always there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I am a person who wants to live in uncertainty. It keeps us alive all the time.
Oh, so do you think you like to when you say uncertainty, do you think in uncertainty you can set things right? Is that what you like in living in
That
uncertainty?
that is the opportunity what we get when things are uncertain. It is up to
Mm-hmm.
us how we can drive a result out of it. Whether
Yeah.
we can do something, whether we can achieve stability out of it, or whether we can achieve no result out of it. It is up to us. It is up
Yeah.
to us as an individual what we can
Yeah.
do out of uncertain time.
Yeah.
So
And
that
sometimes
is kind of
uncertain is also beautiful, isn't it? Planet itself is like very imperfect and uncertain. So
yes,
what
yes,
I
yes,
was saying is that the whole earth which we are living on is not perfect. It has its own
yes,
mountains, it has its
yes,
valleys, it has its
yes,
waterfalls. Yeah,
yes,
so I understand where you're coming from.
yes.
Yeah. So can I ask you this? Like, aren't you scared listening, like growing up in India, particularly southern part of India? You know how hard it is. I'm from the south too. I know how hard it is and all. Listening to the stories of our ancestors, the farming was not doing good. There were a lot of suicides. Whenever you see paper, if you're a 90s or a 80s kid, that's what you saw in the papers every day. The farming is not doing good.
Yes.
So weren't you scared to get into
Yes.
that?
No,
No.
I have always been an optimistic person.
Yeah.
In our school, there was this small activity that they used to do.
Mm-hmm.
We were around 100 students in our class, and one day our teacher came and they gave everybody a sheet of paper, and each person was asked to write about somebody else.
Okay.
Say, it's not like one person has to write about the remaining 99. About
Oh,
me,
okay.
somebody else would write.
Okay.
I would not write about myself. Somebody else
Okay.
would describe me. The
Okay.
same way it will be like everybody has to describe the other person.
Okay.
So there, the review what I got was that, Chetan is a very overconfident person.
So somebody wrote that about you.
Somebody else wrote about me that, I am very overconfident.
In what sense overconfident? Did they describe or they just said overconfident?
That is as a person they have seen me. I was in my college in that time. What they saw me as was that, I was a very overconfident person.
Okay, maybe they thought you were an overachiever. Goals are like maybe over the clouds or over the moon, or maybe they saw it in
Yes,
a
yes.
different way, which is not
It
like a
could be,
regular rat
it could be the
race.
attitude, it could be the body language.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
You look
So,
quite normal to me. I'll tell you
yes.
that. You look quite normal to
No,
me.
it's been a process from that time. That was a wake up call for me. After I
Okay.
got that review,
Okay.
it made me realize that, okay,
Yeah.
our body language might be very positive. We
Mm-hmm.
might be very confident,
Mm-hmm.
but the person in front of us will always think the way they will see us. We may
Yes.
see ourselves in a much bright and positive way, but for another person, it is unachievable. It is very overconfident and things like that. So it helped me, to always think whenever I was, taking a step. I always used to think of what the person I told that, it used to remind me, okay, you can think, have goals, but make sure that, whatever goals you have set are achievable, and, live realistically in going towards that goal, and don't just be blind. Sometimes we just become blind, and, we think of million things.
I like your approach, how you thought that even when the other person who said that you are overconfident, while you're actually pursuing it in your life, like let's say if you're doing your farm or whatever, you did not take the
Yes,
negativity in it. You took the positivity in it, and you were
yes,
always
exactly.
kept, yeah, you
Yes,
always kept on checking that am I overconfident in this? Sometimes like
yes,
that's really an optimistic view to have. Not everybody has it. Everybody will like, oh, he thinks I'm overconfident, but see, I have achieved it right now. You know what I'm saying? But that you actually
yes,
turned it into some good point, and you actually made sure you're balanced. You wanted to have that balance and proper. That's a really good approach,
yes.
actually. Yeah, I can see why you're here doing what you're
Believe
doing.
that, our thoughts will always be ideal,
Yeah, yeah. So do you have any
and our
inspiration?
actions will
Like,
never be ideal.
yes, yes. But for your age, you have a lot of maturity. I have to say that. It's like, do you have any inspiration, like, or is your grandfather or your father? And how did your family support you when you decided that you're gonna enter into the farming? Your family, the friends who are still in the ITs or who are still working in Bangalore and all the metropolitan cities. What was the
Yes.
approach? What did everybody react to your decision?
Yeah. I would start from my grandfather.
Okay,
Uh, he is no more. It's
okay,
been a very long time. And
okay.
during his last days, he had one wish which he had told to my mother.
Mm-hmm.
My mother, is his daughter-in-law, my
Okay.
father's father.
Yes, yes,
He had told it to my mother. Yes, to my
yeah.
mother.
Mm,
Yes, he had told to my mother that
mm.
no matter at what cost, never sell the land.
Okay,
My mom and dad, they are basically they were in service and they got retired. And after retirement, we are two kids. I have a sister, so both of
mm-hmm.
us we chose we our own streams. And there was no idea back in 2000, say 2010, that we would be continuing the farm what we had. We
Okay,
used to have a arecanut plot here, and my
okay,
dad used to manage it between his work. He used to come
okay.
once a week regularly.
Why
We
it
had
doesn't it doesn't need much caring? Is that why?
no, there were people here who were looking after the farm. We had our
Okay,
staff here, but
okay.
then as a owner of the farm,
Yes,
it
yes,
is always our attendance that shows results.
yes,
If you leave
yes,
it up to somebody else,
yes.
they would always they would be focusing on the 30th day of the month when the salary comes.
When the
No
salary
matter
comes in.
how
I know.
involved they are in the work,
Yeah,
but still
yeah,
our involvement
yeah.
matters a lot. So during that time, the intention was not there to continue this place, to keep the place. Mom and dad both had thought of selling the place.
Okay.
And when they told me that, they are going to sell the place, I was just in my 25 or 26 during that time. It was too early for me to, say no to them. That is when I started getting the thought that, what if we, not sell the land and buy more land around us?
Okay.
So if we have to do that, we need to have money. So the first thing is that, for money, do we have that much of money? No, we do not have that much of money. So how are we going to have more land? Maybe one option is that, we can earn by any other mean, say, get into a business or do well in your job, start saving up, and all these things. So I had certain plans of being a filmmaker once.
Wow.
When I was in my early 20s, I wanted to be a filmmaker. But I knew that, the early stages of filmmaking would be a struggle part.
Yeah.
So definitely we would have ended up selling our land
Yes,
in that struggle.
definitely. Yeah, I agree
So I
with you on
thought
that. Yeah.
maybe, keep that filmmaking plan on hold.
Yeah.
We
Is
can,
it, can I ask, is it
we can make
direction
a film
or
at any point in life
is it direction or is
and
it
do it great also.
cinematography? So what is it you want to do in filmmaking?
Direction.
Direction, very good.
Direction.
The captain. Okay.
And then after some time, I even we are Shetties, so every Shetty wants to have a hotel.
Yeah.
Likewise, I also wanted to have a hotel. I wanted to
Okay.
be in the restaurant business.
Okay.
But then again, restaurant business also is equally like making a movie.
Yeah.
We invest so much and we will never know whether we are going to get anything back or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is when I saw the third option, that, we have a land. Why not do something in the land? Why not expand our cultivation in the land and see how much we are able to get out of it?
Yeah.
So during that phase is when I was working in Bangalore during that time. I was living in Bangalore. I was living in a rented place in Bangalore. So we started growing mushrooms.
In the house.
Yes, in the house. In the house,
Oh.
it's a 560 square feet house, which has
Wow.
a 100 square feet kitchen. And in
Okay.
that 100 square feet kitchen, there was a kitchen shelf, and under those
Is it
kitchen shelves, we
is it
used to do this
Martali? Is this
cultivation of
Martali?
mushrooms.
Were you in Martali?
No, no, not Martali. It was in RT Nagar,
Nagar.
Rabindranath Tagore Nagar. That was in 2015. And 2015, I was around 28.
Okay.
That is the stage in life. Maybe for some people, it comes very early. For me, the realization phase of life was at 28. That, what am I going to do with life?
That's early too. Some people don't realize until they're like 40. So that's early too. Okay.
So that is when I thought, is there a scope for me to go back to the native and, start something there and be there and, be around the people who are there around us, like my family, relatives. Of course, friends had already, gone to different places.
Yeah.
Most of my
Yeah.
friends were there in Bangalore. So it was a
Okay.
very good life. We used
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
hang out every time. We used to meet every time.
Yeah.
And friends, we used to all come to the farm during that time on vacation for a couple of days. Come here, stay here, party, and then go back. It used to be that kind of a life. And during that time, I thought, we can't just be partying all the time. We have to do something on our own. Only when we quit everyone and live by ourselves and do something, work on something what we want, maybe 15, 20 years down the line, the results will start showing up
Yes.
for the decisions what we have made before.
Yes. Yes.
So I thought, let's shift to the farm. Let's start growing mushrooms. That was
Okay.
the idea.
Okay.
So along with that, mushroom work was like, it's an everyday work. So I thought, along with that, we have some vacant patch of land also, where we
Okay.
can do some cultivation.
Can I cut you here and ask you, like, how much land is that? How many acres of land are we talking about here, like in total?
We were cultivating around 3.5 acres of land,
Okay.
and we had another 6.5 acres uncultivated.
Okay. Just barren land.
Yes, barren in the sense it was not attended. It was
Okay.
a slope kind of an area.
Right. Okay.
We had cashew trees there before,
Okay.
and because it was not attended, cashew also was not yielding much. And
Yeah.
we had paddy fields also. Paddy fields,
Mm.
it was not being cultivated.
Okay.
So in one portion of these paddy fields, it's a step kind of paddy field.
Okay.
In this portion, we started growing turmeric.
All right. Okay.
This was during the time I was in Bangalore. That was
Okay.
a first step, I would say, to into farming. Mushroom cultivation, I had started before that itself. But
Mm.
I would say mushroom cultivation is not exactly farming. It is not related to the soil. We can do it indoors. We can do
Yes.
it even if you don't have much of a land.
Yes.
This is like, you are directly working with the soil.
Yeah.
You know, the earth is so huge, and, you're trying to dig the earth and, grow something out of it. So
Yeah.
obviously, when you are doing all that, the sun will feel a bit, and, it will make you all sweaty. It will make you tired. It is
Yeah.
that kind of a job. For
Yeah.
me, that back then it was like that, because
Okay.
we were not seasoned to all these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
We started mushroom cultivation because that time we were earning. We used to have good money, so we used to, lavishly we used to spend on all the labor and all those things, and because we were earning
Mm.
monthly, we used to earn, and, money used to be there with us. So we used to not find it difficult to, spend it on labor or spend it on any investment here in the farm. It was easy. So we
Okay.
thought, let's forget the selling part. Let's just focus on the growing part. Let's learn. Let's see how to grow.
Yes.
The first easiest thing what struck to me was, to grow turmeric,
Okay.
because it's a rain-fed crop.
Okay.
You will have to plant it during the rainy season. When the monsoon starts, we
Mm-hmm.
plant it here. And
Mm-hmm.
then as the monsoon goes on, the plants get irrigated. We will not have to irrigate it. And once monsoon is over, that is until Deepavali, we have rains.
Yeah.
So after Deepavali, the plants start maturing, and, during that phase, they would not require much water.
Okay.
So we could do a crop which did not need
Yeah.
manual irrigation.
Yeah. So if I'm correct, isn't turmeric like a 3 month kind of a crop? Is it a 3 month or 4 month kind of a
Um,
crop? No?
no, this variety what we have is 7 months.
7 months.
It's basically considered as a 9-month crop.
Oh, generally it's a 9 month crop. Okay.
Yes, from the
Okay.
time of planting to harvest
Right.
and drying, considering
Yeah.
all that, it will take nine
Yeah.
months.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right.
This first batch of turmeric what we grew, we got a good yield. We got around, I would say, a dry yield. We got about 165 kgs of powder.
Okay.
When we did our first crop, this of turmeric, and we harvested all the crop, it was very difficult to harvest also, labor wise, and, the way the soil was so hard because the rain had hit so much.
Yeah.
Here, when it rains, the soil is very porous, and once the
Yeah.
rain goes off, the soil just becomes like brick.
Okay.
It is two extreme soil conditions what we have here.
Okay.
And somehow we got to harvest everything, and we boiled the turmeric, we dried them, and the rhizomes were ready. The dry rhizomes were ready.
Mm-hmm.
We call it as fingers.
Yes. Yes.
And when we went to sell the fingers, that is when the selling aspect of a farm produce hit us.
Yeah.
uh, Nobody was ready to buy.
Oh, really?
We were like, it's organic. We have grown
Yeah.
in an organic way. We have not sprayed anything. We have only used organic manure. We have taken care of it so well. it is good for health. Like, array no boss, here it comes from there, from
Yeah.
everywhere. We only want that turmeric, and it comes at this price to us. We don't
Mhm.
want this price. Your price is very expensive, he said. And they
Okay.
offered us, as far as as I remember, 90 or 120 rupees per kg.
Okay.
The amount of investment what we had done from the time of planting to harvest was around 65,000 rupees.
Okay.
And just for your calculation, say 165 rupees into
Yeah.
120 rupees, it will be around 18 to 20,000 max.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, no problem. I got all the fingers back.
Oh, you
Never,
didn't sell it to them. You didn't
no,
sell.
no, no, no. No,
Good.
never,
Good.
never have I sold any of my produce for a price lesser than what I want.
Very
I've
good. This
never
is
done it.
something to learn. Viewers, please learn this point. He was not ready
I've
to
never
sell.
done.
Okay. Then what happened?
Then I went to a packaging store.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some pouches,
Mm-hmm.
which will fit half kg, quarter kg. And then I took the turmeric to a mill.
Yeah.
I got the turmeric powdered.
Mm-hmm.
And, during that time, I just quit my job. I came
Okay.
back to Mangalore. And 2 days after I quit, came back to Mangalore, I sat in the house and started filling all the pouches.
Yeah. So
And we made
basically
pouches.
you gave a makeup to the turmeric. You westernized it. You had to
Yes,
westernize it so that people can understand it's organic, right?
yes, yes, we
Yeah.
did it.
Hmm.
So we had all the pouches ready, and we started marketing it using Facebook and WhatsApp.
Wow. Okay.
We started our price at 450 rupees per kg.
Wow. Directly.
Yes.
Wow.
And
Okay.
from that time until now, we grow turmeric every year. We grow around 150 to 250 kgs average.
Okay. Okay.
And, we don't market the turmeric now. People call us and ask for the turmeric, and we send it to them.
Wow. So like even now, how much is it? Like how much is it right now in the market? Like, does people know that you're selling it to this price?
No, that price is the wholesale price. That is different. We don't go to look at that at all. Right now,
Okay.
we sell our turmeric at 750 rupees per kg.
Wow, that's an achievement right there. Wow, that confidence. And so like when you're putting the price at 450, like what was your calculation back in your mind? Like, so your effort, your labor prices, or everything.
Yes.
Did you calculate all that? And
Yes.
then this is my worth. You decided
See,
your worth.
we have spent 65,000 rupees,
Yeah. Yeah.
and say a margin of 50%.
Yeah. Yeah.
That will be around 1 lakh 30,000 rupees.
Yeah.
That is what I planned. That okay, we should at least get 50% of what we had invested.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Did you understand that there is a lesson right
If
there
you
to
buy a
learn?
car,
No, 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 I understand. But did you understand that there is a lesson right there? Do you know
obviously,
do you know how many people actually, it's not just turmeric, in life, you want to do something, you get something in the way, and you settle down for the low of what that's not your goal, you want to go somewhere here, and then you get something in the way, and you're like, all right,
yes,
let me do this, maybe it's just this. Wow, that's a really good approach. Hats off to you.
that is
Yeah.
what I said. When it is uncertain, it will bring the best out of you.
Yeah, like nothing to lose. So what this
Yes,
is it. This is my worth.
yes,
But claiming a
yes.
person's worth is also like a very appreciative thing. People should know their worth and stand by it. Wow. And then so now how much turmeric farming is going on there? Like how
No,
many?
it's still the same way. We don't do much. We
Mhm.
grow only a limited amount
Okay.
because that is not the only crop what we want to rely on.
Okay.
That is one of the crop which has helped us, in managing. You know, it's a very small income what we get,
Yeah.
but we have got a huge customer base because of that.
And
We
high
don't
demand
sell it to any
also.
shop.
You cleverly put a high demand on it too by
Yes.
not producing it too much.
No, we don't sell our turmeric to. Sorry.
You're not producing it too much, by that you're creating a high demand. of a customer base. That's a clever move. Yeah.
No, we have to, we can grow how much ever we are able to grow.
I
Suppose
understand
we are
it.
doing it in a bigger extent, we'll need more
Yeah.
labor, all
Yeah.
those things. We
Yeah.
have other crops which we can focus on. So we are
Okay.
doing it in a limited area.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we don't sell it on Amazon or any online platform or things like that. We don't sell it to any shops.
Okay.
All our customers are homeowners.
Mm-hmm.
It is going directly to the kitchen. The
Okay.
women of the house, they will order on us. They will order 1 kg. They will order 2 kg, and they will
Okay.
keep the stock for the entire year.
Okay.
So that is
Wow.
how the approach has gone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
So,
because we have this good customer base, which is spread across the country, and
mm-hmm.
people who come from abroad during their visit to India, they also take it and go.
Yeah.
It has helped us in promoting our other produce like black pepper, rice. What we
Yeah.
grow, we sell
Yeah.
coconut oil, we sell honey,
Yes.
and then we have our main fruit crops: rambutan, mangosteen, avocado.
Yeah. I was asking you, is rambutan from lychee family? Lychees.
Yes, 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 it is.
It is. Okay. And I also
It
saw
belongs to
that
the same family as lychee.
lychees. Yes, yes.
Lychee,
Mm-hmm.
rambutan,
Mm-hmm.
longan,
Mm-hmm.
and pulasan.
Okay.
There's longsat,
Okay.
and there are some more. All these belong to the same family,
Okay.
Nephelium.
Okay. So what are they good for?
They are basically essential source of vitamin C,
Right. Okay.
and they are good in for fiber.
Mm. Okay.
A lot of for your gut.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's very good, and they also release a chemical called as oxytocin.
Mm. Mm.
With
Yes.
the moment you eat a rambutan, you get a smile wide on your face.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh, they should call it
but
a
you should
smile.
eat the right rambutan.
What is the right rambutan?
Right rambutan is a fruit which is harvested when it is fully ripe, and it is harvested and packed in a right way and made sure that it is reaching the customer's place in a right way, and the customer opens it and then eats it.
Oh, okay. Do you have a good customer base for rambutans in India, like particularly in southern part of India?
Yes, we do.
Oh, you do. Oh, that's great. So, moving on to something else, I have a big doubt always. You know how they say that earthworms help the soil, right? Earthworms help the plants to grow. There are some birds, there are some insects in this, the living creatures which help the plant grow. At the same time, you have worms, you have these
Yes,
particular insects which will actually destroy the plants to grow. So, how
yes,
do they
yes.
coexist in the nature, and how does that work?
Yeah. So basically, what I classify them is there are vegetarian insects,
Okay,
and then there are non-vegetarian insects.
okay,
The insects which feed on the plant are vegetarian insects, and the insects that feed on the vegetarian insects are the non-vegetarian insects.
is the earthworm non-vegetarian according to your classification?
No. Earthworm is good. Earthworm is vegetarian, but it will
Okay,
not be over the soil. It will be under the soil. So what an
okay,
earthworm does is it will eat the soil.
hmm,
Say you are digging a tunnel.
okay,
So you have this boring machine.
mm,
It is what happens is the boring machine starts eating up the soil, and as it eats the soil, and then it will in its rear end it will just uh, dispose the
yeah,
soil what it has
yes,
dug.
yes, yes,
The same way, what an earthworm does is it will eat the organic matter in the soil.
hmm,
It will be drilling the soil. It will eat the organic matter in the soil. It will digest it, and when it is dumping its waste, it will convert that soil into a richer organic matter and dump it.
okay, okay,
It's called as a vermi wash.
okay. Can
It's
I
like
ask
you have eaten the soil.
can I ask you a stupid question? Can I?
Yes,
Uh, It's a stupid
yes,
question
yes,
though.
please.
You have to excuse me there. Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
if there are these vegetarian insects and non-vegetarian insects, and sometimes birds come and pick the insects and eat them, right? From the plants and stuff. Why
Yeah.
do we have to use fertilizers? Isn't that the nature doing everything for us?
Now, your question would be, why do we have to use insecticide and pesticide?
Yeah, like all those insects to kill those insects and to kill those all those, when the nature is doing all the work for us, why do we have to use any? That's my question.
Yeah. First of all, farming is not something which we are doing with the nature. The
Okay,
word farming
that's a good
itself,
point. Mm.
the word farming itself is something what
Mm.
you are doing against the nature.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
There's
yeah,
something,
no,
it's a forest kind of ecosystem now modified, and we are we expect a crop which we used to get in 100 acres of land, which we now want to get it in 5 acres of land.
okay. So I was saying, can I compare it with, like, how in villages and towns we have our independent houses, to in cities we have those small apartments. So is that what you're saying? From nature to, do you think that's a resemblance?
No,
How the man is
that
working?
is the need. Earlier we had lot of space.
No, this is
Earlier we
also
had
need.
lot of space. Now space
Isn't
is a
this also need?
constraint.
Farming is also need, right? If we can rely on
Yeah,
forests,
it is a need. It is a
yeah,
need now.
yeah.
Yes.
So do you think it's a human kind of a thing to actually move everything to our comfort, for us to change everything from the nature to our comfort? Is that how you're looking at farming also as?
Yes. Exactly. It is like that.
Okay. So
Farming is like that.
ideally, do you think when someone is becoming a farmer, do you think maybe ideally is this a good thing to do, that half of your land is treated like a forest, so half of really, and then half is used for the civilized, the proper way of farming? Do you think that will make maybe better way of doing things?
Yeah. We should plan that way itself.
Okay.
When you are setting up an orchard, you can
Mm-hmm.
have multiple crops, and you can create although it's not a natural ecosystem, we can give a ecosystem kind of feel back to the soil and back to that place. But when you are
Okay.
say when you're growing stuff like vegetables and cereals, grains and things like that, you will have to do it in an open ground.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I get
there,
that. Mm.
that is where most of the pesticides and insecticides are being used.
Okay, okay,
It is used on fruit orchard also everywhere, where
okay.
people when we are reliant on a particular crop, and when we
Mm.
want to get the maximum out of that crop, so
Mm.
definitely everybody would want to grow the most promising fertilizer and the most promising insecticide, the most promising herbicide. There are a lot of
Mm.
things.
Okay,
End of the day, they also every farmer who is growing food, they would want some economics to work out for them.
obviously. Yeah,
So when you say if you are an organic farmer, and or say the more sophisticated way now most of them keep talking about is natural farming, permaculture and all those things.
yeah,
As per me, it is not easy, all these things.
yeah,
It
yeah,
takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot
yeah,
of trialing, experimenting. We
yeah.
have to keep, our efforts have to be doubled, tripled.
Mm.
We have to keep doing the same activity so many times. So
Yeah,
everybody cannot afford it.
yeah.
For
I,
some
I, I
people,
I think for now maybe we can preserve the forests which are already there, and then best of our efforts we can do organic farming without not ruining the soil and
yes,
not ruining the environment. I think
yes,
that's a good balance too. Still whatever we are doing, if you're not disturbing anything, in the forest at least,
yes,
that is also a good way. So, and you are mentioning about the economics, right? So, how does
yes.
the farmer make sure because once your product is ready, until it reaches the consumer, how do you make sure that it doesn't get ruined?
Huh.
How does that work? What are the precautions you take for that?
For all the crops what we are growing. it varies from crop to crop. Something what we follow for turmeric, uh, yeah, what I can say is I can classify it as short shelf life and long shelf life. For whatever is short shelf life, like for fresh produce, like vegetables and fruits, we have to make sure that we have a customer with us who is ready to buy our product the time it is harvested, and we make sure that we follow a strict it's like a discipline what we want to maintain. Any product of ours, a fresh produce, should reach the customer's table within 36 hours from the time it has been harvested.
Okay.
Because the feel of a fresh produce is what makes you good about what you have bought.
Yes.
Your product might be excellent,
Yeah.
but sometimes we as a farmer would have grown an excellent produce, we would have an excellent crop, but we would not have followed certain discipline in harvesting the crop, and from the time by the time it has been harvested and got till the house, that time itself a lot of mistakes would have happened by the farmer.
Yeah.
What happens is this mistake will be clearly seen at the customer's side. The farmer would not know about it because the time the produce has gone from the farm, they have no idea how the produce is.
Yeah.
The next brunt is it is either borne by the seller or the trader or whoever is involved, and the finally it goes to the customer.
Yeah.
Customer, if they are okay with it, they will be happy to pay for it. If they are not okay with it, it will just go as a waste. It will be either rejected, things like that. So we need to have a standard procedure in harvesting the crops, and we have to also, as a farmer, it is not just about growing food. You should meet your end to end requirement of a customer. It is from the time you have planted, you have grown, you have maintained the crop, and you have harvested the crop. After the crop is harvested, you have to make sure how it will reach to the customer in the right way. Be it your harvesting procedure, and then the packaging procedure, and then the transportation part of it. So when we have, for a small example, if I take about rambutans, or I can talk about mangosteen. Yeah, actually, it's a beautiful thing about mangosteen. Mangosteen is called as queen of all fruits,
Okay.
and once upon a time, it got its title of a queen because Queen Elizabeth was very fond of mangosteen.
Mangosteen.
Yes, mangosteen.
Okay. Okay.
Mangosteen earlier it was this crop was only in Southeast Asia, in
Okay.
Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and those areas there. Whoever used to get mangosteen and give it to the queen was offered knighthood during that time. Yes, it's also called as a queen of all fruits for a reason.
Okay.
This fruit, after being harvested, even a slightest of touch from the outside, it will damage the fruit from inside.
Wow. Wow.
So you have to take so much of care in transporting this produce
Okay.
that you have to make sure that when the customer, obviously any eater is, I don't know, it might not sound good when I mention it, as a customer, but for
Yeah.
me, when anybody who wants to eat the fruit, when the consumer is opening the fruit, and when they are seeing it, as you saw on the picture of the
Yeah.
fruit, it
Yeah.
has to be
Yeah.
full white.
Yes, it
It
has
has
to
to
be.
be white like a garlic. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what happens is, because of transportation damage, sometimes the fruit gets pressed from outside, and wherever the fruit is pressed, the inside portion, exactly there would be a small mark. This is a very expensive fruit, and people who are willing to pay a good cost for the fruit, they would always want it in a best condition.
Okay. And why is this mangosteen so expensive? Like, why?
It's very seasonal and it is very rare. It is not found everywhere.
And does it have any more values in it? Like any
Yeah,
specific
you should
values?
eat one mangosteen, then you will know.
Okay. I'm gonna do that. Since you said that they're available in Australia, I'm definitely gonna do
It,
that.
it, it's a very rich fruit. It gives you an immense feeling while eating. You
Oh,
know,
I can actually see that in your face while you're saying it.
These tropical fruits, they are also called as exotic fruits for a reason. It actually makes you feel exotic. Have you eaten passion fruit?
Yes, yes,
Yes. Doesn't it make you feel exotic while you're eating it?
yes. My favorite drink is one,
Yes,
it has to have passion fruit in it. Yes,
yes, it does. Have you eaten a
yeah.
rambutan?
No, but I tried lychee. Lychee is not my thing, but I tried it.
Actually, yeah, that is very sweet.
Yeah.
Yes. Rambutan is like, you twist the fruit and you take off the skin, and, once you put the pulp in your mouth, if it is properly harvested fruit, which is like 100% ripened on the tree, there will be a very tiny portion of, like, a few drops of water inside the fruit.
Okay.
No, you should be fortunate enough to, gulp that drop of water into your mouth.
Those
Then
golden
you'll
drops
know.
into you. Those golden
Yes,
drops.
yes, yes.
Uh,
And
do,
when
do, yeah. Do you know this fruit called ice apple? Ice apple.
yes, ice apple. Exactly. Yes,
Yeah, I love
yes,
it. So in Andhra, we have it like in the borders
yes, yes.
for the farms.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so good. That's really good.
Rambutan,
Yeah,
for anybody who has tasted rambutan for the first time, they will say that, it has the feel of an ice apple.
yeah.
The
When you're
flesh
saying when
has
when
a
you're saying
crunchy like
that,
an ice
I
apple.
felt it. When you're actually
Yes,
describing it, it's like okay, that is
yes,
a we call it tati munja in Telugu.
yes. You can just
Uh,
add a little bit of sweet, and, you can add a little bit of lime into it, and then you can, think of how it feels.
you know what I
That is
think
what rambutan is.
in the future, I'm definitely sure that you're going to open a restaurant in front of your farm because you have all those taste ideas of how to eat the food too. Because that's the expertise of if you know how to eat the food, you can feed other people too. Definitely, you should try that.
Mm.
Try that and then
Thank
go
you
for
very much.
filmmaking.
Thank you.
For first restaurant and then
Yeah,
filmmaking. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Maybe I'll have to make a documentary of myself.
that's a good one. Maybe we can do this all together. Yeah. And I also want to ask you, like, are you doing any programs on your farm for younger generations, like an internship program, like to show them how farm works or anything like that? Are you doing any programs?
We are open to people who want to come here.
Okay.
They Earlier, we had a couple of people who have come here, volunteered in our work. They have stayed
Hmm.
here with us and
Okay.
all those things. Right
Hmm.
now, it has become little difficult for us to always be in the farm,
Okay.
because along with this farm work, we also trade in fruits now.
Okay.
So not only our fruits, we want to, sell other fruit from other farms as well, and,
Okay.
make sure that, everybody is getting a fair price for their produce. So
Wow.
because of
Okay.
that, sometimes we will be out from from the farm. We would
Okay.
have gone on those visits, and
Okay.
my wife also is a baker, so she also sometimes wouldn't be here in the farm.
So the restaurant is for sure. I can see it. I can see it. Okay. Hmm.
So
Yeah.
uh, considering all the situations right now, we are not able to be in the farm every time. During
Okay.
the main season work and all, will be there.
Okay.
What happens is, if we have a volunteering program and all, we'll have to be here,
Hmm.
say it, regularly, and
Yeah.
we'll
No,
also speak.
I'm saying something sort of like how they do internships for college kids, like a 4 week program or like a 2 week program, whenever there's a
Yeah.
season. If you can, it's just to inspire the future generations around us,
Yeah.
because
Mm.
people have to come into farming. The reason why I wanted you to come talk on podcast is that the other day I was having a conversation with my son, and if you have 100 people, not even 10 people are farmers. 25%
Yes.
of the world population are only farmers. So 75%
Mm.
are feeding off them, right? I
Yeah.
don't think that's a right proportion. So I
No,
think
it
we
is not.
should, yeah, we should have more farmers. So uh, I don't know. I'm just thinking something like, if you have some surrounding, maybe your own college, the one you did your BTech from, or any other colleges nearby, and then you can offer an internship program like in a summer or in a midterm break or something for like a 2 weeks or 3 weeks, just to come and have look and then have an idea. I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm sure you will do that. You'll do a good job in that.
If it is a day activity, is fine.
Yeah, even if it's for
That
a
is
day.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
What happens
yeah.
is we don't have the infrastructure to accommodate everyone here.
Yeah, yeah. No, not to accommodate. It's like internship where they have to come, stay in the farm, maybe do a little bit chores as well. They have to do some things here and there, like helping around and stuff. Only then they can learn what is going on in the farm. They can't just come in, have a
Yes.
party around,
Yeah.
and then have some coconuts, eat some rambutans, and go. They have to work in particular
Yes.
sections which they were allocated. If you do that, I think we can inspire the next generation kids. At least in
Yes.
1,001% can
Yeah.
inspire from
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's a selfish thing that I want the 25% to grow a little bit more. It's out of selfishness I'm saying this.
Yes. That is possible.
Uh,
That we can do.
yeah,
We can
yeah,
always do. We
yeah,
have been open to programs like that earlier.
yeah,
Some students from a few colleges and all have come here,
yeah,
try
yeah,
to study like what can be
yeah,
um, like taken up as a thesis for them. So
yeah,
they have been doing it.
yeah. Maybe any agriculture university students or
And
even BTech
as
students.
you
Why
said,
why not?
as you said, uh, as you said, if everybody is living in the city, there has to be
Hmm.
somebody who is growing food also,
Yes, yes, yes.
which I believe I am now a part of.
You are. You're definitely part of it. I hope I will be one day. Yeah, because that's a dream of mine. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, I
Just like
wanted.
how when we were kids, we had our uncle's place to go to.
Yeah, we used to have this mango farm when we were kids, and we never had to buy mangoes in summer. So my grandfather always used to
Okay.
send mangoes to our house, like 200s, 300s. It's not like now we're going and buying for 1 kilo, you're getting two or three, and then we're paying 200, 300 rupees in Indian rupees. We are forget about it. We're paying a lot of money for that. But
Hmm.
that was the situation back then. You had goas in your house, you had mangoes in your farm, you had like
Yes.
bananas in your backyard. We didn't have to go for fruit for outside, right? Until unless
Yes.
it's like
Yes.
something unseasonal or something
Yes.
from different part of the country, which is
Yes.
not supposed to be
Yes.
eaten at that time.
Yes.
Isn't that how fruits work too? They grow according to seasons. When you have to eat what, that is what comes out, right? I wanted to ask you about water, like how does one has to plan if someone wants to do something like you. You already have a farm of your ancestors, that's fine. But let's say I want to buy a land. What are the minimum things? Tell me briefly, like shortly, what kind of land do I have to go for? What size? Go only 1 or 2 acres in the beginning and then expand slowly. Or what kind of water resource should we have in the farm? What would you suggest for the beginners?
Yeah. Uh, See, it all depends on the kind of crop what we want to grow, and it all depends on the geography. See,
Yeah,
any country has its own geography. Like, there's a tropical part in a country, there's a subtropical part, there is an arid part. So all these
yeah,
things will matter.
yeah,
Mainly, when you're going for a farming occupation, you will have to see what is the source of water what you have, whether it is going to be a river which is passing by your land, or whether you have an open well, or whether you know there is ample water in if you dig a bore well, things like that. If you are confident of a good water source, then you can plan on growing any crop. If you do not have water, then it is very difficult to grow any crop. You will have to rely on rain fed crops.
yeah,
There are some crops with just one or two rains, they will grow by itself, and like
yeah,
pulses and things
yeah,
like that can grow
yeah.
those things. When you're going for horticultural crops, you will need water. And
Okay,
right now, most of the plants what are being planted, they're all grafted plants. You
okay.
will have to see the commercial viability of a plot what you're developing.
Mhm.
Say for me, when it came to starting the rambutan farm, we had to sell around 10 lakh rupees as an investment to prepare the farm, in which the land work cost came, the borewell cost came, the pipeline cost came, the cost of the plants, and then the cost of the manure to while planting the plants, the cost of labor, and all these things came up. And roughly, I would say around 10 lakhs, 10 to 12 lakhs was needed to set up the farm initially, to just plant. And each year we have to maintain the plot. So for that, again, we will need a there is a maintenance cost what will be involved. We have to consider that aspect also.
Okay.
I would say roughly around 2 lakhs was needed for us to maintain the rambutan farm every year.
Okay. Okay.
We started getting a good harvest only in the fourth year.
Mm.
So until then, it was all a cost only.
Okay.
Because it was a inherited land, we did not have to spend on purchasing the
Yeah.
land.
Yeah.
So without that, we had to spend maybe we would have spent around 20 to 22 lakhs so far.
Mm.
And only after that we have started seeing some money.
Okay.
First year we earned around 3 lakhs. The year after that we earned around 7.5 lakhs.
Do you
The
pay
year after
tax?
that we earned around
Do you have to pay tax?
farm income is tax.
Tax free, right? Yeah, that I
Farm
wanted to
income
hear.
is tax free.
Yes, I wanted to hear that from you. Okay, good. Okay, go on.
But we are open to pay taxes whenever tax system comes to the farming activity also.
No, no, we don't want that to happen. The 25%
That time,
will.
the lot of
No, 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 no.
illegal corruption also. Anyways, corruption is
No, we don't want the 25% to drop. So tax free is good. We are good with tax free.
for whoever who is going to start this. You will have to consider whether you have a land with you already, or whether you are going to purchase a land and then you are going to start this. Suppose you are
Okay.
going to purchase a land and then you are going to start anything, it is going to cost a fortune.
Okay.
So enter into this field only if you have enough that you have saved for yourself, or enough of backup for yourself to sustain for for at least 5 to 6 years.
Okay. You're saying that
And
because the money you will spend to buy on the land should be used on the land if you have one.
yes,
Okay, that makes sense.
it's like sometimes when it comes to investment, we will end up investing everything what we have when we are starting something, and we will think that from whatever income we are going to generate, we will run the operational cost. We will not get any income for first few years. We will not get any income at all. But the
Okay.
farm has to run. Be it any other work, it need not be a farm. It might be any any business or any job what we take as our own. We will need capital to run the uh, business.
Yeah.
The same way here also, we have to consider this also as a business, and we need to plan our capital finances well. And say, suppose you are going to see, if you are going to purchase a land, anything like 3 or 4 acres minimum is needed for you to get
Yeah.
a good income.
Yeah.
3 to 4 acres right now, it may cost 1 crore.
Yes.
If you have to set up a farm, everything, say your budget is 1 crore. In that, if you invest 80 lakhs on the land, and then 10 lakhs on preparing everything and setting up the farm, the next 10 lakhs you'll have to keep it with you to maintain the farm till you start generating revenue from the farm produce.
Mm.
That is a must. So there we have to plan as much as possible, and always, no matter how much we plan, the reality will always be against the plan only. Like I had saved roughly around 10 to 12 lakhs, and I came here. We invested in the farm and everything. That was in July. By January, my account became zero.
Okay. Okay. You can
Uh,
spend fast.
yeah.
Okay.
That was in 2018. From 2018 January till 2020 August, I've been literally not doing anything else than, spending on the farm, nothing else. No
Did,
spending
did,
much on
did you
myself.
at least get to eat your rambutans, or you didn't get to eat them also?
Yeah, obviously, I was the first one who ate our rambutan. The first rambutan I
No,
only
no.
ate.
At that period of time, when you're spending and emptying your pockets, did you at
There
least
was no
get to
rambutan.
eat? There was no rambutans then. Okay. Okay.
No, obviously, rambutan has not started yielding that.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe some coconuts here
Rambutan
and
was
there.
not. See, there I would say the rice what we grew, we used to cook
Yeah,
the rice what we grew and we used to eat it.
yeah,
We grow vegetables,
yeah,
long beans, lady's finger, brinjal,
yeah,
cucumbers, so
yeah.
all those things. Going to the shop and buying vegetables, we had to only buy onions and tomatoes and some
Why,
garlic.
why didn't you grow them too?
That doesn't grow here.
Why? Is
Climate
this okay? Right. Okay. What kind
cannot
of climate
grow all those.
climate does this onion and tomato need?
Subtropical.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Like your area in Andhra Pradesh, there and all you can grow.
Yes. Do you know Madanapalli, Palamaneru?
Yeah,
When we go from
yeah,
Bangalore, yeah, in Palamaneru, that's the
yeah,
tomato cultivation. You have this big
yeah.
tomato.
Correct,
Everything is of
correct.
tomato over there. Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it.
During the
Yeah.
phase where we didn't have much money, we at least for food, we were able to eat the food what we had. So
Yes.
that was one good thing.
Yeah.
Our main expense was cut short there.
Yeah.
And rest of the things, anyways, we have arecanut here. So the crop what we used to take from there, uh, it was helpful for us. Whatever income we used to generate from arecanut, we were able to use that income and use it for the new farm expenses and things like that.
Okay.
Suppose we did not have that arecanut as a backup, then it would have been really difficult. I would have shifted back to the city and taken up a job in 1 year. I would not have continued
Mm.
being here.
Mm. Is
So we
that why
always
you're saying that it's better to get into your own farm than starting completely new?
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Say suppose somebody has a family business of general stores. Somebody has a family business of taxis. Somebody has a family business of transport. Somebody has a family business of be it whatever. Instead of yes, the heart would say that we want to be an RJ, that we want to be an actor, that we want to be influencer and things like that. It is because of what your family has been. It is because of what your generation has been is what you have become today.
Yes.
Without that, we would not have been what we are today.
Yeah, that is so true.
So, mm, so we should always think in those lines. We should think of practicality. Then, heart will say a lot of things,
Yeah.
but we should also think some, certain
Yeah.
things and take decisions wisely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So, like, how did your wife and kids take this? Like, how did they support you in this farm and everything?
My wife was my girlfriend during that time when I
Okay.
decided to shift to the farm.
You prepared
So
her.
we
You
used
were very
to,
smart. You're very clever. You prepared her. All your moves were very clever, and you had one more move to go. Very good.
because I knew that, after getting married, things would be difficult and it would have taken a lot to convince anyone. So that part, we both were together when we were growing mushrooms. Also, we used to do it together there, and then setting up the farm also. She was the one who gave me I who had from there were a lot of roadside vendors, food carts. They used to sell exotic fruits. So she had one day bought some rambutans, longans, and mangosteen, and she gave it to me to taste it. And that is when we tried the fruit. The fruit was so bad that I said, why do we have to pay so much of money for this?
Yeah.
And then few weeks down the line, my father said that some people are starting rambutan plantations and all here. There are new plantations that are coming up. And during that same time, I met one of my mentor, who is still my mentor. He has a very good rambutan cultivation here nearby to us. So he said that, I went to him to approach for mushroom cultivation. He said, we are doing this. Why don't you come see our plantation and, check it for yourself? And I went there. But during that time, there was no fruit in his farm. And I happened to visit one more farm. That was during the exploration, what I used to do. I've done a lot of homework for all these things.
Yes,
I met a lot
definitely.
of farmers
Yes.
and people. So in one farm, I got to taste a rambutan.
Okay.
That rambutan was just harvested the previous day and kept in their house for their consumption. And they
Okay.
gave that rambutan to me. I was
Okay.
very hesitant to eat because in the head, I've
Yeah.
already eaten a rambutan
Yeah.
and it is not so great.
Yeah.
According to me, it is just that, rambutan is very attractive, but it is not so great to eat.
Yeah.
When I ate the second rambutan, which is in this farm, that is when I decided that, if I'm going to grow something, I'll grow this, nothing else.
Okay. Okay.
I got to know the difference.
Whenever you say rambutans, do you hear, like, whenever I hear myself hearing that word, or whenever I hear myself saying that word, isn't that a lovely word to say rambutan, rambutan? Why did that name come to that fruit? Why is it called that rambutan?
It's actually a Malaysian word. Rambutan originated from Malaysia.
Okay.
It means hairy fruit.
Yes, it looks like that. It is
Yeah.
definitely one.
The word rambut means hair.
Rambut means hair in Malaysian language, is it?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, and okay.
Rambutan, hairy fruit. That is how it
Hairy
got
fruit.
its name.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And after 2020, it also, after 2020, it's also
Yeah.
called as corona fruit.
Why? Because it looked like that? It looked like that? Is that why?
Yeah, it looks like corona fruit. Actually,
Okay.
there's a funny story here also. We do a lot of retail selling. We sell, like, we send to people who want 1 kg, 2 kgs. We send it to them, by courier and other postal modes. So one of my friend who was in Canada, she had ordered it for her parents.
Okay.
She had ordered 2 kgs. So neatly I had packed it in our box, and that box itself we had sent it by India Post. The parcel has reached their parents' house safely and everything.
I'm getting the picture of what must have happened. Okay.
They have opened the box
Okay.
and they have kept the box outside their house itself near the steps, and they
Okay.
have called their daughter.
Why did you
Somebody
say
has sent
corona?
coronavirus to us.
That's a good one.
Somebody has sent corona. What do we do?
Okay.
She was also not like she was also did not she did not strike to her also, like, what are you talking about? Then she realized, oh, I have ordered it from Chetan. That is not corona. That's a fruit. Open the fruit and eat it.
Okay. That's a good one. That's a really good one, actually.
So yeah,
See,
to your other
yeah,
question,
yeah. Go on.
I will let you know about how my kids feel after they are born.
Okay, done. For the next generations to think of farming, at least to be their profession, even if they are taking the farm of from their family or whatever, what are the necessary steps do you think to be taken, and how much chance do you think is there in this world, practically, literally, and what do you think, how should we attract them to this? How should it happen?
If you consider in terms of commercial viability as a business, if you're talking about
Business, and at the
then I
same
would say
time we are eating healthy food, right? We are living healthily too, so it's a two.
farming can be a way of life,
Yeah, it's a way of life. Definitely, it's a way of life.
and
Yeah.
it can also be taken as a business.
Yes, both. Yes, two win-win situations. Yes.
Yes. So if it is a way of life, then I would say everybody can do farming. Everybody can, have their own way of life. 100 out of 100 can take up farming. 100 out of 100 can look for being sustainable and all those things.
No,
That is a different picture.
No, I'm thinking something like, let's say it's a way of life. How you're doing right now is a way of life and also commercial angle to it, right? You're also
Yes,
doing it like a
yes,
business.
yes,
So you're clubbing both of them
yes,
and making it,
yes.
actually, you're making it look, I don't know, you'll become a good filmmaker. You're making it look beautiful. So how do we attract
Making
the
it look
next,
exotic.
how do we attract the generation saying that, see, this is way of life, and then you also have a business aspect to it, and this is a beautiful way of both the worlds combining
Yes.
together. How do we take it to the next generation, do you think?
I feel that one thing what we as the new generation, like the upcoming generation who are going to get old, what we have to see, most of the people who are there here, it is not the youth, it is not the youngsters, it is people who have crossed their 60, who are having a retired life.
Yeah.
The husband and wife, they are
Yeah.
here, their kids are
Yeah.
settled abroad, or they are settled in a
How do we
metropolitan
pull
city.
them back from abroad? That's my question. How do we pull those next generation kids? Let's say I have my son who is 17 right now. How do we attract my son to something like this?
Yeah, we need to show the potential. People have to realize that see, today I might be doing good. This is 2023. I'm not saying that I'm doing very good, but I
Yeah.
have progressed.
Yes.
But 2017, everybody used to say that, you will go back in 2018. You will not stay here for long.
Okay.
Potential will be there everywhere. We have to identify that potential.
That
It
happens in
might be there
every
even in a
walk of
desert,
life,
or it might be
right?
there in an ocean.
Yeah,
It
like
might be there in a very rich place, or it might be
yeah.
there in a very poor place. Exactly. Yes.
In every walk
Exactly.
of life, let's say if you have a
So
degree,
out of 100,
yeah, if you have a graduate student coming out at 20 or something,
yes,
he's not
yes,
gonna make it until like another 5 years or something. You have to
yes,
work hard for that. So it's the
yes.
same
You
thing
have
over
to work.
here too. Yeah, but
Yes.
somebody has to come out and tell that there is this option. You can look this
Yeah.
way.
I would say it is not just about farming. I would say
Yeah.
it is about, a rural life, or,
Mm.
coming out of a bigger city
Yes.
and making a life in a smaller place,
Yes.
and making smaller place as a bigger place.
Yes. Yes.
That is
Yes.
where we can play as a role.
I can go on and on and on and on talking to you, but we have to wrap this podcast. I hope you had fun talking to me. I had lots
Yes.
of fun talking to you, like
Yeah, yeah.
lots.
Very much, very much. I am
Yeah.
sorry I took a lot of your time.
No, no, that's all right. That's all right. I had really good time. So thank you so much, Chetan. Thank you so much for coming.
You can always follow us on Instagram, Manjanna
Yeah.
Shetty
And
Family
one more thing
Farms.
for the viewers, I'm saying this. I'm gonna give your Instagram page, and I'm gonna give the descriptions and your website. I think you have one, right? So I'm gonna give everything. Yeah,
That
we're gonna do
website is
that.
used
And
only during the season time to order fruits on it.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna do that. And thank you so much. Namaste.